The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, squeezably soft host. As always at this time, we come to you.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
So we've got a little bit of a pullback for the first time in a handful of days on the S&P cash. We're down 8 points on that. The Dow's off 23.24. NASDAQ's off 32. Russell's down 2. Crude oil's up 30 cents at 53.96. When we look to the other markets, get this back. Okay. Come on. There we go. I show gold down $5.70. I had been kind of horribly overbought, but I don't know if there's that much pullback in gold. It looks rather, what word do they love to use? Not sublime. I'll think about it. But not mediocre. I'll think about it. Anyway, silver's off 16 cents at 6.75, and of course, what I've been watching most of the day was the dollar. A lot of people believing that the dollar was going to go back down to 92. It's right back into this trading range, which I suspect the powers that be want to keep it around 96.15. I think, about 96.15 on the last tick on the March 19 contract. So you got some fairly, it's been pretty much in an uptrend, I'm going to say, since 6 a.m. when everything started going. And, we've got a little bit of strength, but it certainly seems like when it gets above, 96.50, a lot of sellers come in. When it gets at 95, a lot of buyers come in. But probably manipulated in some way by the U.S. government, maybe other governments too. But this is kind of where it really looks like where they want to park it. Other things that I've been watching very closely to see is if there was any breakout in this TLT of the range from about 120 to 122. We're down 14 cents. But again, I think someone called in either a week ago on Friday or maybe 2 weeks ago on Friday. And the one thing that keeps kind of rubbing me is the fact that the TLT should be going one way or the other, and it is not. And that kind of, it makes me go, in the area of things that make you go, but that's it. Anyway, we'll keep we got a lot of stocks reversing today. It may not be enough to reverse the indexes, but it does show at least some, one of the weaker sectors that are starting to roll over first. I've got some fairly decent indicators that say that we've topped for probably 4 or 5 days. You can debate whether we're going to pull back or we're just going to go sideways for those 4 or 5 days. And I think it's kind of the euphoria. Certainly makes me think that there may be a bigger pullback. I'm thinking that 2650 would be probably some fairly decent support in the market. And I don't think we need that much. The housing numbers were rather dismal, and those were from December for the shutdown. They're not going to look any better going forward. But certainly in the super high tax states where people have left to go to lower tax states like Florida and Texas, Nevada, and others to get away from confiscatory taxes has been a problem. And of course, if you want high taxes, that's great. But high taxes only mean that you don't send state taxes, only means you don't send those taxes to Washington, D.C. you spend them in your own town. And it's kind of a way of diverting taxes back to your state and not putting it in the big pool. Kind of exactly the same problem that the UK has with the euro. And that is that for every dollar they send in, they only get 80 cents back. So kind of a raw deal. And certainly low tax states didn't divert those taxes into its own state. And now that we have kind of a level playing field, the question is, will those high tax states decide that maybe everything they decide to do has a cost? Because the old saying is, socialism ends when it runs out of other people's money. And that's basically kind of almost a Ponzi scheme, in my opinion. But those folks are trotting down to Florida in record numbers, also Texas and Nevada, some other places too. But housing down, especially in those massively high tax states that celebrate taxes as something that you should only make higher each year. What else is going on out here? Well, that's kind of it. As I said, I had several indicators kind of made me think that we've got at least a temporary top. It may not be that big. I think it could develop into something around 2650, and that's what I'll be playing on. In the meantime, let's do a little history, and we'll get into nothing but charts the rest of the show.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating, and on this day in 1917, just 3 days after President Woodrow Wilson's speech of February 3rd, he broke diplomatic relations with Germany and warned that war would follow if American interests at sea were again assaulted. A German submarine torpedoes and sinks the Anchor Line passenger steamer California off the Irish coast. And if anybody knows anything about geography, a little island over there called Fastnet, which there's a sailboat race that I would love to get in to go over and race that Fastnet race. Unfortunately, it's rather dangerous. Seems like it's rather dangerous. But hey, guess what? There was a sailboat that they built special for racing across from New York to England, and it made it there like in 3 days and 20 hours or something like that. I'll have to go back and look at it. It's on YouTube. It's quite the boat, but man, this thing is absolutely flying. They had to pick the exact right weather date to leave, but you think about the people coming over here and taking it 90 days. And they make it now, and the same kind of thing, a sailboat, in less than 4 days. It's amazing how well the technology in sailing has developed over the years. A lot for the America's Cup. We'll be back after this. We'll look at a lot of those charts.
The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at TFNN.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN has launched our brand new website. You can still visit us at the same TFNN.com URL, but when you do, you'll see a new and improved homepage with a much simpler navigation, whether you're watching Tiger TV live in high definition or just accessing your newsletter subscriptions. We even have new pricing in 6 months and yearly options. Check out the new TFNN.com now and experience all the upgrades. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we've got some emails coming in we'll get to in a little bit. You can always email me at path@tfnn.com. That's it. Anyway, we're going to go through as many charts as we can. So many of these things are out testing previous highs on light volume. Some of them have broke out only to stall, pull back into their trading range. Some are legitimate breakouts, but I'm going to say pretty few of those have. About half the ones that are broken out look like they're rolling back at least to the support level of the breakout. But the SMHs look like the last big push was today on a pop in NVIDIA by, I think, just a short squeeze action that we've seen in many stocks in the last few days. Dubious news. Analog devices is popping through the 102.63 high of June 7th. That had 3.66 million shares. So far, you've gone through that today with 2 million shares. So probably going to be light on that one. What else do we have? Okay. What else do we have? Oh, Abercrombie and Fitch. This thing hasn't even been able to get back to where it started its gap down on the 30th of August. But that day, or the bottom of that day, has been, or was, I got my ear itches. Is that day down on the August 30th. That had 14.5 million shares. Back into it yet again today with 1.6 million shares so far. So, you got back into it with a little bit more volume on November 29th. At least you had some decent volume at 27 million shares, which actually fairly decent. But it instantly gave it up on that bounce, came back down, and now it's back up again with lighter volume. Almost all these teen clothing retailers, I just don't know how they're going to actually survive. And I don't know how they make the transition to online. Clothes are something you really need to try on, and kids aren't going to the malls anymore. Okay, Alibaba I just don't picture Alibaba as kind of a Chinese thing. I always thought it was more Arabian Nights, but maybe that's just me. December 3rd, 168.80 with 31 million shares. Yesterday, as you went into that high, you have 12.8 million shares today, just 7.7 so far. So again, some of these are better than others, but we do have a lot of stocks, and each day it seems the list gets a little bit longer. BCE is the symbol for this one. BCE Incorporated, December 4th, $43.61, 1.5 million shares. Yesterday you had 600,000 shares. Today you got 357,000 shares so far. This one had a lot less energy on from the December 26th low than the high going down, that high being the December 4th high. Blue, as we look at this one, Bluebird Bio, another one with about half the volume, at least at this point, I think, yeah. November 5th high, 139.74, 800,000 shares. Yesterday, you spike it with 396,000 shares. You got 252,000 shares so far. Energy off the bottom, better, but still not as good as the energy on the way down. BMRN, BioMarin Pharmaceuticals, did test its previous high, and that came in with 1.2 million shares on December 3rd, 99.89, got to 113 cents yesterday, did so on just 760,000 shares, reversed back into the trading range and reversed lower today. Not a lot of juice so far. Again, energy's off about 10% off the December 26th low on that one. So either a trading range or a pullback for a ABCD higher. So this would be the B to C leg on that. I heard somebody earlier while I was walking around doing chores in the abode in the White House here, that someone was talking about uranium, which we'll get to next. I don't know what they were saying. I think it was maybe it was Basil. I want to give Basil a big thank you too for work he did on something I've been working on, and just always good to have a second set of eyes on something that you're working on, and he's been of utmost help. Crown Castle, CCI, December 6, 117.60, 3.25 million shares. Yesterday, you got into it with 2.3 million shares. Big reversal on that one. Dark cloud cover, if you're into the candlesticks. Kamiko, CCJ, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago, we commented about how many, I think 4 new reactors for China that will be using uranium. And I don't think they have much, if any, uranium in any of their country. So they're always looking for more uranium. This one actually matching the previous highs with about 3.3 million shares in the last couple of days. A little bit of reversal, kind of like the rest of the market. Would like a little bit more juice, but probably the long term in nuclear power is probably fairly good. But wouldn't short it, but certainly does look like a few of these things have had some runs and are kind of at least going to top out for 4 or 5 more days. Crestwood Equity Partners, CEQP. I could probably do 100 of these stocks that are in this REIT kind of business. I'm pretty sure this one is. We'll pop this one up real quick. I'm pretty sure it's residential, maybe strip mall stuff. Oh, this is natural gas. Glad I looked it up. Crestwood Equity Partners. Light volume test of the December 14th high. I hate LPs with a passion. They seem to only take money from the people that promise to give so much more back to them. Anyway, December 14th, $32.92, got to $32.97 with 400,000 shares a few days ago. I think this is the right shoulder and now headed down, probably back down to about $29. CHKP. What do we have out here? Checkpoint Software. This is going through the November 16th high, 2018, 114.40 with 1.2 million shares. Yesterday, it had 662,000 shares. Today, 375,000 shares. So, again, you're not going to even get to yesterday's volume. So, a lot of these things are just checking out at the highs with very little fanfare, and that kind of suggests that either you go back and retest the lows, or you're doing a pullback in the C to D leg before you get that C to D move higher. We'll be back in a minute. Got lots more to look at.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. Yesterday, we talked about a company that Wall Street is now pumping for lithium, opposed to ALB, which is Albemarle. Up a little bit today, but not a whole lot of volume. Just be aware of this. Not exactly sure why they were slamming ALB yesterday and today, but there are a few people out there doing it. It actually seemed to have a better day today, but not a lot of juice out here today. 770,000 shares so far, but what can you say? What did we get through? I want to look at 5 We'll start right there. This is Five Below, which is another one of the retail stocks. This one tends to be in strip malls, though. Everything's $5 and below. I've been into one. Nothing I would want to buy. I mean, there's things in the $1 store that I buy. Everything's $1. I still like the people I ask how much this thing costs, and then have them until the red face tell me everything is $1. There's simple joys in life. That's one of them. But on this one, Five Below, it's got this November 8th high of 125.75, 1.3 million shares. Got into it with about 600,000 shares yesterday, 741,000 shares. Today, 284,000 shares. Again, some of these are stronger than others. Some of these actually do look fairly weak. But this is the one. But I'm trying to think. This kind of looks like earnings are coming up on it. I think they are. March 6th. So you got, you got over you got about a month. So I'm going to watch that one here. But energy was actually fairly good for a retail environment. One of the few doing good and expanding. For Scout Technologies, FSCT. Where's this at? Okay. What is this? SCT. There we go. Provides network security hardware and software products in the United States, all over the world. Classifies, accesses IP devices, extend modules for integration across blah, 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 blah. Okay. They say a lot here and don't tell you anything. In customer network, as well as maintenance, professional services. Still don't know what they do that everybody don't do. But back into this November 9th high, 3170 with 1.2 million shares, 260,000 shares today as we go above that high, yesterday, excuse me. Today you're pulling back with 233,000 shares. FXI was a China 25. Seeing a few weakness in China, even though they are closed this week. The December 3rd high got tested yesterday in FXI that had 62 million shares. Yesterday you tested it with 29, excuse me. So less than 50%. A little bit of a pullback so far today with 18.4 million shares, but never had the juice up off that January 3rd low either. GBT, which is something blood products. Global Blood Therapeutics is bouncing right off around this $50 area once again. You were looking for something in the neighborhood of 750, maybe even 1.5 million shares. You had 12 million shares on December 3rd when this thing gapped up on earnings. Now up on just 500,000 shares so far today. So big seller around this $52 range. And that's where you're going right into. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path, P-A-T-H, at TFNN.com, and you can put a message in the den. Seems very quiet out here today. I think everybody's wondering if this pullback is real. They're just holding their breath. I guess, what is it? Gillen Activewares? Never heard of them before other than seen their symbol a lot of times. Not exactly sure what they sell. Another retail stock with light volume. December 4th, this had $34.40 with 940,000 shares. Yesterday, 650,000 shares. Oh, excuse me, 462,000 shares. And today, just 150,000 shares, but a little doji. You want to be watching this next. Intel's up here bucking the $50 range. Spiked it yesterday, gave it up. Spiked it today, gave it up. With a whole lot less volume today, 14.2 million shares. Yesterday, you had 31 million shares. Going back into that December 3rd high that had 31 million shares. And, of course, all started by this gap down with 67.8 million shares, which is the was it July 27th, gap down on earnings last year. J.B. Hunt, another big transport company, showing some signs of weakness over the last couple of days. Got a big gap up on earnings on the 18th of January, kind of rolled back, pulled back to the gap, filled the gap. Now it's back up to the previous high. Yesterday had 823,000 shares, today 676,000 so far. Again, you were looking for something like 2 million shares, which is what this thing gapped up with. Kimco Realty, one of about 100 of these real estate stocks that are either REITs or heavily leveraged, showing some weakness up at these highs. KIM's the symbol on this one. June 22nd, 1740 with 10 million shares. Got December 10th, $17.38 with 7.5 million shares. Didn't even get there on December 7th at 1711 with 6.4 million shares. Of course, on the 30th, you get there with 5 million shares. Pull back a little bit. Yesterday, you had 3 million shares. Today, down a little on 1.5. So all these stocks just kind of hanging out at these highs. But volume continues to really pull back in those. A breakout in live person yesterday that had 577,000 shares. Actually was a little bit more than the November 2nd high. But very light volume on a second doji in a row with under 400,000 shares today. So 2360 would be the pullback on that. What else do we have? Okay. Louisiana Pacific. Tested its November 7th high, $24.37, with just about 3 million shares. Got into it with 2.25 million shares on the first. Been slowly pulling back. Energy off the December 21st low was not all that exciting, and down about 20%. Las Vegas Sands, which we brought up earlier in the week, and said, well, what is this thing going to do? You were looking for maybe 10 million shares at December 3rd high at 59.21. You're breaking it today. Question is, how much volume do you have? 10 million shares on that previous high, 2.7 so far today. We'll be back in a minute. Got plenty of stocks to look at before the end of the day. Also have plenty of time for you to call me at 877-927-6648.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we have Massimo Corporation, another one testing light volume. It's a medical technology, develops, manufactures, and markets non-invasive monitoring technologies worldwide. Signal extraction technology, pulse oximetry. Why can't they just say they make sensors for things? Hemoglobin species, including oxygen saturation. Okay, so they make a bunch of stuff that tests what your blood's doing. You've got the October 2nd high at 126.89 with 650,000 shares. Spiked that yesterday with 373,000 shares. A little of a pullback out here today. The energy was okay up to that high. Probably would short it. Certainly not at that lower price, but a lot of these stocks, like I said, just very, you had some volume picking up, but now that you've hit these highs, the volume's gone. Mellanox Technologies, MLNX, the spike on November 7th got to 99.14 with 3 million shares. Day before yesterday, 1 million shares yesterday, 568,000 shares today. So far, 468,000 shares, but not quite blowing out that high just yet. MRIN, Marin Software, this thing's just going sideways. I don't know why I put that in this list. Maybe I didn't get down that far to weed out my list. Old Dominion Freight Line. Again, a lot of these transportation companies are given rather weak signals today. November 8th, 142.37, 740,000 shares yesterday, 500,000 shares. Reversal out here on 327,000 shares. OKE, one OK, back up to a gap that goes back to October 23rd of last year. That gap came down on 2.9 million shares. Last 3 days, 2.5 million shares, 2.3 million shares. Got 1.5 million shares so far. So again, probably not a short candidate, but certainly starting to run out of juice as it goes back into that supply line. Penske Automotive, of course, General Motors out today. Even closing all the plants, everybody was fairly bearish, but it didn't sound like they needed the house was on fire as they made it sound just a month ago. Penske Automotive Group, PAG is the symbol, October 25th, 47.50, spiked with 1.15 million shares yesterday, 530,000 shares today, 237,000 shares. Let's take a quick look at General Motors, and we shall see. Little spike on General Motors, giving it back. As I said, probably 8 out of 10 of these things are breaking out and then back into the trading range, even when they had decent volumes. General Motors does not. About 12 million shares going in to the 30 million share high on December 3rd. And, this one, just light volume. You're going to come up with maybe half the volume, maybe slightly more than half the volume of that previous high. PSQ, ProShares bouncing along back into both a November 7th low that had $30.71, 4.5 million shares, 3103 on December 3rd with 2.5 million shares. Yesterday, 1.2 million shares. Today, 900,000 shares. So pretty decent support. Not a bad looking chart for PSQ. RCI. Reversal in this one, which is Rogers Communications. First high at 54.83 on December 4th. That had 770,000 shares. Tested it with 100,000 less on January 23rd at 55.17. Back into the trading range yesterday, up and through that high with 310,000 shares. Down today, 252,000 shares, but just looks like it started a C to D leg and just didn't have it. Fairly light volume. Okay, what else do we have going on here? Real Page. I think this is like Yellow Page now, isn't it? They leave them on my front doorstep, I think. And of course, I promptly throw them away. They are paper. They are dead to me. November 2nd, $58.47, 1.55 million shares. A year into it, 660,000 shares. So about a little more than a third of the volume. Down today on 535,000 shares. This one looks fairly like a nice W pattern to trade off of. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Make sure and email me at path@tfnn.com. Got enough to get you into the last segment if you email now. Shopify, another one bouncing against previous highs in the million share range. 1.5 million shares back on July 24th of 2018. 176.60. Got into that yesterday with under a million shares. Today you're down on 600,000 shares. But again, you're just running into resistance levels. It's either going to stay up here for 3 or 4 days and chew through, or it's going to have another issue. The SMHs finally closing this gap down that goes back to the October 10th range. That came down with 21.3 million shares. Up into it today with 7 million shares. So pretty good statement up here that you're running into a fairly large supply line, and volume is fairly light in those SMHs. Splunk, we talked about yesterday, getting ready to test its high on very light volume. 3 million shares back on September 4th. That's $130. With 3 million shares yesterday, you got into that with 1.3 million shares. No surprise, it's back into the trading range. Very light energy from this December 24th low up to the high of yesterday. SRTY, another variant of the Russell, the 3X, coming back into these previous lows with 700,000 shares. You have 386,000 shares yesterday. Today, 301. So not a lot of juice back here. Very strong resistance that's pointing to in the IWM above. Stratasys, a little breakout, but no sign of strength as it goes back into the highs of August 21st. That had 1.5 million shares yesterday. 560,000 shares today, 400,000 shares so far. A lot of these things are setting up for at least a few days of reversal, if not more. Certainly, there's not a lot of volume going into it. Synaptics, a nice little pop in this one above the December 3rd high. That was $40.85. With 1 million shares today, you got 265,000 shares. You may even give it up by the end of the day, but close below $40.85 is fairly bearish on this stock. What else do we go? Got some email. See if there's anything we got to go here. You have time to look at MU. We will when we come back. I think I looked at it a day or two ago, but we'll go over it one more time. I know a lot of people are pushing it on CNBC. We'll be back.
The universe provides us with opportunities all the time, and I was no different. In 2006, I invested $2,500 in a 2-day master trader course taught by Tom O'Brien, then ranked as the #1 market timer for gold. The fact is, if you want to be the best, you must learn from the best. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability and the Market Timer of the Year for 2018. To celebrate this accomplishment, TFNN.com is offering you a free 2-week subscription to my award-winning newsletter service, and there's no charge to you until day 15 unless you cancel sooner. That's right, we're waiving the normal upfront deposit, and this offer is available to anyone and everyone, even if you've tried Mastering Probability before. Sign up now, and I'll teach you the tool that identified the bottom in the Dow on January 26th, the morning that led to the largest daily point gain in history. This offer will expire on February 10th, so go to the homepage of TFNN.com now and click on Mastering Probability.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
And a question in the email out here is, look at MU. Again, outperforming its rivals. Oh, I'm looking at Boeing here. Excuse me. Outperforming the SMH, at least on a percentage basis, just back up here to resistance levels. But it's got some decent volume. Energy was okay up to the top. It looks like it's the better of of many of them. Part of this is that everybody's out goosing NVIDIA today. And of course, the biggest client of NVIDIA is MU. So I think they're just getting a bit of a pop on MU. But MU looks to me exactly where you'd want to short it. You filled half the gap of this gap down from the 28th of January. That had huge volume of 63 million shares, doing about 15 million so far today. You've got another little gap out here, and you went right to it. You're going to close right in it. I suspect that the SMH has got at least 4 or 5 days of consolidation if you're thinking bullish, and could pull back, maybe 50% of this would take you back down to about 142 on NVIDIA. MU, I think, support comes back in around $37, and I would think, for about $37. I think if the market pulls back, this is where this thing's going to come. Comes back on light volume, then you got the setup for your next ABC, which could take you back up to $50. But I don't think that there's much happening in the market or in earnings or anything that can really drive this market much higher. Just too many of these stocks that we're seeing with very light volume over the last 2 or 3 days. In the meantime, sell when you can, not when you have to. We will see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.